Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to York County. Welcome to I-83, and welcome to PennDOT's new truck parking location. I'm Mike Carroll, the PennDOT Secretary, and I'm thrilled to be here today with this really significant and important announcement. And what I just unveiled is a sign that you're going to see a lot more of across our Commonwealth. I'm excited to share that for the first time in decades, PennDOT and the Turnpike are taking action to help address the truck parking shortage here in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvanian citizens and businesses know that we truly are the Keystone State when it comes to freight movement. You see it in the number of trucks on our roadways, the growth of our ports, the warehouses appearing across the state, and the huge economic impact of freight coming into and through our Commonwealth. That's why PennDOT has a freight work group and a truck parking task force to continually look at ways to support our infrastructure and freight movement. Another thing that we know about this industry is there are not enough safe parking options for truck drivers that haul this freight. Truck parking is a nationwide problem. My colleagues here today will talk more about why these spaces are badly needed for the safety of all drivers and everyone on our interstates. But I'll share how PennDOT is acting to address this challenge right now. With the high volume of freight traffic coming through Pennsylvania, the Shapiro administration knew that we needed to tackle this problem. It could wait no longer. Starting today, at this very way station, PennDOT will add over 1,200 truck spots across our state, 1,200 truck parking locations across our state. These spots will be at 133 Commonwealth-owned locations. As a commercial driver's license holder myself, I know how important this common sense approach is to the economy, to the workforce, and most importantly, for safety. These locations across our state with new parking spots will include interstate on-ramps, way stations used for state police motor carrier safety enforcement, and other locations within PennDOT's right-of-way, thinking in terms of properties near exits from interstates or other such locations that are convenient truck parking options. Each of those locations, the 133 that I mentioned, will have a sign like this one, marking areas where trucks can park safely. By adding these spots, 1,200, and looking at ways to add even more, we're giving truckers many more options to safely park and meet their rest requirements. I said this was a common sense step, and it really is. But if you look to the coordination and the safety review, that matters greatly. For example, we look for interstate on-ramps where there is no visibility concerns or safety concerns. We want these spots to be safe for all motorists. We worked closely with our partners at the state police to make sure that we could expand way station parking while still making sure that they can do their important enforcement jobs. Now, we looked at existing property to find a way to efficiently get to yes on adding additional truck parking. The PennDOT team will add this parking throughout the end of 2026, and we will look to do even more in the new year. But we also wanted to make sure that truckers know where to find these spots. So we added a new feature to our 511 PA Traveler information website and smartphone app. 511 PA is free, available 24/7, and already has many features for truckers, such as bridge height and weight restriction information, and now additional truck parking. Starting today, when you visit the site, you can click on Public Truck Parking to see existing truck parking options across the state. As these new sites are added, they will be added to the 511 website. This collaboration among the folks you see here today is another example of meeting Governor Shapiro's directive to get things done. And as I say constantly, every county, every community, every state, and today your county, and truckers. I mentioned that I have a CDL, so I mean it when I say I know how hard the truckers work. It is a very difficult job, and so many work tirelessly to meet our needs to live in society. They truly keep our economy moving. That's why PennDOT is also committed to the continued progress through our working groups, finding even more truck parking and even stronger partnerships with groups including PMTA, who you'll hear from shortly. Because safer conditions for truck drivers means safer roadways for all of us, and that is our number one priority, safety. So I'm thrilled today to be here with our partners, and I look forward to truckers across our state taking advantage of these additional opportunities to keep them safe and to keep the motoring public safe. And I'm happy to turn the podium over now to my friend Major Kroll from the Pennsylvania State Police. Major.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. I'm Major Robert Kroll, Director of the Bureau of Patrol for the Pennsylvania State Police. Thank you for taking the opportunity to join us this morning. Everyone here today shares a common goal of improving safety on our Commonwealth's highways. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission continually work to maintain the traffic flow, ensuring that the vital infrastructure is well maintained and also improved to meet the ever-growing demands of increased capacity. Our partners from the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association are here. The Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association provides safety training to the industry and serves as advocates for safety improvements within the realm of the motor carrier industry and the benefits of the truck drivers themselves. As members of the public, you must all be responsible drivers yourselves. It's important for all drivers to obey the speed limits, follow the rules of the road, show courtesy to other drivers, eliminate their distractions in the vehicle, and pay attention to their surroundings at all times. The Pennsylvania State Police and our law enforcement partners do our best by patrolling the roads, identifying unsafe vehicles and stopping them, and intervening when drivers violate traffic laws and engage in dangerous driving behaviors. In 2024, the Pennsylvania State Police had investigated approximately 4,000 reportable crashes involving commercial motor vehicles, including 28 of which were fatal crashes where the truck operator was deemed to have committed a violation that led to the a primary cause of the crash. Too often, the investigating troopers find that a significant contributing factor to commercial vehicle crashes on our highways are either fatigued or drivers who fall asleep. But truck drivers alone are not the issue here. Professional drivers transport goods that keep our communities running. The food that we eat, the clothing we wear, the fuel that powers our vehicles, the materials that build our homes and other structures, and much, much more. However, after long hours on the road, many truck drivers face a frustrating and growing problem. There simply is not enough truck parking available for their tractor trailers. This shortage of safe, accessible parking isn't just an inconvenience, it's a matter of public safety. Truck drivers increasingly resort to stopping on the highway shoulders, interchange ramps, and other safe locations on the exit ramps that are not designated for long-term stops. Not only is this unsafe, but it also puts other motorists at risk. A driver forced to avoid a collision or that needs to suddenly pull off the highway in the event of a mechanical or other emergency might encounter a large obstacle in their path in a place that it shouldn't be. This situation also creates hazards for the truck drivers. A shoulder along a busy highway or an interchange exit ramp, the deceleration ramp itself, is not a safe place to perform the required en-route inspections that a driver must do daily on the vehicle. As law enforcement, we witness these issues firsthand. We understand the consequences, and we know that every unsafe stop made along our highways is a traffic crash waiting to happen. Truck drivers spend long days and nights away from their homes. They deserve safe places where they can adequately rest, get the rest breaks which are required by law to comply with the commercial vehicle drivers' hours of service limitations set by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. They also deserve accessible facilities where they can get rest and recharge, allowing them to get back on the roads alert and able to drive safely. When we invest in safe truck parking, we invest in our public safety. We protect truck drivers and everyone who shares the roadways with them. Thank you very much for your attendance today. I'll now turn it over. It's my pleasure to introduce Mark Compton, Chief Executive Officer of the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission.
Good morning, and thank you, Major. And also, too, a special acknowledgement and thank you to Secretary Carroll, who truly has shepherded this effort on behalf of the department and of that of the Turnpike Commission. I think it's safe to say, without his passion for the issue, which you saw come through, I don't think we're standing here today, at least not now, as he has made sure that this has become a priority for both of us, and we thank you for that, Mike, and thank you for that passion for this issue. It's also an honor to be standing here alongside Rebecca Euler from PMTA. And we were honored to be together, both our organizations, a couple weeks ago as we worked together for Trucker Appreciation Week. So thank you for your participation in that effort. And you see her lapel pin that says, "We love trucks." Well, we love them too. To quote an old country song, we like them, we love them, and we want more of them. And to do that, we know that it's incumbent on us to also find new opportunities for parking. So over the course of the last 2 decades, we at the Turnpike have invested $30 million into truck parking. One that was just officially opened about 2 weeks ago at Siling Hill, which was an expansion of one of our service plazas. And about 1.5 years ago, we opened up Lawn officially here in the central part of the state. We continue to evaluate opportunities for the trucking community, and we understand that what we've done so far is really just a milestone in this effort. We've got a lot more to do. So with the guidance of our secretary, the work that's being done at PennDOT and with our traffic unit, we've committed to reviewing and examining opportunities for 600 new sites for locations for truckers to park. As many of you know, we stand in transition today as we continue to evolve from an over-the-road tolling from a interchange-based tolling system. We do think that as we get to form through our capital planning process, we'll open up to get to those goals of another 600 spots. So we're excited to be part of this journey alongside our partners. We want to thank you for your guidance again on this issue, and we look forward to getting to the next step to hopefully showing the importance of the trucking community, just how vital we see you, how much we want you, and we know we need you rested and safe. And this is a key part in that effort. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce to you a true advocate for truckers everywhere. And if you pay dues at the PMTA, you get your money's worth with this woman, because we are excited to announce that Rebecca Euler, President and CEO, is here to talk as well.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that introduction. We are happy to partner with the Turnpike and happy to be here with all of our partners here today. This is very exciting. I am Rebecca Euler, like he said, President and CEO of the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association, and our association represents about 71,000 trucking companies that call Pennsylvania home. On behalf of them and the thousands of professional drivers who keep our shelves stocked, our plants running, and our economy humming, I want to say how much this announcement means to us. Truck parking is one of the biggest challenges facing our industry. Nationwide, there's only one legal parking space for every 11 drivers on the road. Here in Pennsylvania, we found that peak utilization for existing truck parking is at 103%, meaning that there are nearly 1,000 trucks that are often forced to park on highway ramps and shoulders, an unsafe situation for drivers and the traveling public, as the Secretary said. But this shortage is not just inconvenient, it creates real safety risks. Hours of service rules require drivers to stop and rest, but when they can't find a legal place to stop to park, they face an impossible choice: park illegally or keep driving in violation of the rules. Neither of these is acceptable, and it's our responsibility to find solutions. So that's why I'm happy to be here today. Truck parking shortages make it hard to bring new drivers into our industry. Imagine recruiting someone for a demanding, safety-sensitive job, as our members do every day, but having to tell them, we can't promise you a safe place to sleep at night. That's especially a concern for women drivers who make up half of the workforce, but only about 8% of truck drivers, and for whom safety is a top concern. The operational costs are real too. Drivers on average lose about an hour a day searching for parking. That's $5,500 in lost wages per year and inefficiencies that ripple throughout the supply chain. Making trucking more efficient in Pennsylvania will help Pennsylvania businesses and communities compete for jobs, investment, and a higher quality life for everyone. That's why today's announcement matters. By repurposing and improving parking on existing rights-of-way, at way stations, interstate ramps, and on state-owned property like we're talking about today, PennDOT and the Turnpike Commission is moving forward with practical solutions. This approach comes directly from recommendations of a 2023 Transportation Advisory Committee study, which laid out 19 specific ways to address the parking crisis. We continue to work with partners on the other solutions recommended by the TAC study, including engaging with local governments and planning partners, exploring opportunities for grant funding, and discussing legislative solutions as well. But today is an important step forward, and we are grateful for this leadership. Truck parking is not just a trucking industry issue. It's a safety issue, an economic issue, and a quality of life issue for all Pennsylvanians. Today is proof that when the public and private sectors work together, we can make real progress on issues that matter. So on behalf of Pennsylvania's trucking community, thank you, Secretary Carroll, and thank you, PennDOT, Turnpike Commission, and the Pennsylvania State Police for taking action that will make our roads safer, our supply chain stronger, and our truckers supported. At this point, I want to introduce one of those local planning partners that's working hard on solutions. Chris Cava, the Chief of Transportation Planning with the York County Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Cava, Chief of Transportation Planning at the York County Planning Commission, which also administers the work for the York Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, otherwise known as YAMPO. I would like to express my gratitude to PennDOT as well as the other partners for the invitation to speak and be part of this event. Over the past 2.5 years, we have developed the first York Freight Plan and commenced a Freight Advisory Committee to guide the completion of the goals and strategic initiatives found within that plan. One of the first priorities was to convene a truck parking task force to understand the current and future trends to accommodate our area with safe and accessible locations for freight haulers. We have worked with the York Economic Alliance, PMTA, PennDOT, local businesses, our municipalities, and surveyed the public on congestion and freight-related issues, as well as identify where existing truck parking is occurring and how industrial land development is impacting our roads. From long-haul and short-haul trucking demand to the increase in e-commerce deliveries and logistics, we have used all of the data and trends to inform ourselves and work with our local, regional, state, and federal partners to implement best freight management practices to manage this growth. Additionally, in 2025, we had a truck parking forecast study completed to identify demand over the next 5, 10, and 25 years, congruent with our long-range transportation plan. There is a fundamental notion that as our area grows in population, so does the needs for goods and commodities. Not only does this impact how our roads and communities function, but also how the transportation demand impacts the quality of life for all of our residents. Our efforts are currently extending to our regional MPO partners to address freight issues throughout the Susquehanna Valley and beyond, and provide meaningful solutions specifically along our York Core Freight Network, while managing truck trips off any local truck restricted roads. Additionally, we will be holding a regional freight summit with the local economic chambers, engineers, municipalities, PennDOT, Maryland DOT, and Pennsylvania and the Baltimore MPOs on October 28th as an open exchange of best land use, economic, and transportation practices to assist in our planning work. As our efforts continue to expand truck parking opportunities in York County, it will take a cooperative and coordinated approach with the public organizations and private businesses to ensure we can provide the accommodations necessary for our anticipated growth. Thank you.
Okay, Chris, thanks so much. I would like to take a minute to thank Senator Kiefer's staff for being here with us today. I know the senator shares the concerns that we all have with respect to additional truck parking in York County and in South Central Pennsylvania, so we thank Senator Kiefer for her support. And I thank all of you for your attendance today. Really a celebratory day. It may seem ordinary to some, but this is really important. So I thank PMTA in particular, our planning partners, the Turnpike and the State Police for their coordinated efforts to make life better for our truckers. So I'll stop there and say thank you. If there are any questions, happy to field them.
I just want to ask Rebecca if I can. As you speak with your colleagues around the country, where is Pennsylvania compared to other states? And if we just get to the microphone, I'm sure this isn't the first effort like this in America. I know it won't be the last, but is Pennsylvania ahead, somewhere in the middle of the pack, catching up?
Rebecca, why don't you come to the podium?
The question is, how does Pennsylvania compare in this effort to other states? And of the categories you suggested, I'd say we're in the process right now of catching up. Pennsylvania is a large trucking state. As you can imagine, we're a keystone state. We're located right in the center of the East Coast. We have a lot of truckers that not only are resident in Pennsylvania, but trucking companies in Pennsylvania, but also that pass through continuously. So we have a lot of highways in Pennsylvania, and we have it's been reported that we're one of the top 5 states where truckers report having an issue finding parking. So that's why this is so important here to address this issue in Pennsylvania, and why we've been working so hard to find solutions. So we are one of the top issue states right now, and that's why this is so important.
Okay, anything else? Thank you so much for your attendance today, Seth. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Comms director for PMTA.
Appreciate the work that you put in too.
Yeah, it went well. Yeah. Good morning.
This is
You guys want to stop and just pose for a quick photo? Yep. Right here. Awesome. Thank you.
And the huge economic impact of freight coming into and through our Commonwealth. That's why PennDOT has a freight work group and a truck parking problem. It could wait no longer. Starting today, at this very way station, PennDOT will add over 1,200 opportunities to keep them safe and to keep the motoring public safe. And I'm happy to turn the podium over now to my friend Major Kroll from Pennsylvania State Police. Major.
Good morning. I'm Major Robert Kroll, Director of the Bureau of Patrol for the Pennsylvania State Police. Thank you. As members of the public, you must all be responsible drivers yourselves. It's important for all drivers to obey the speed limits, follow the rules of the road, show courtesy to other drivers.
And we were honored to be together, both organizations, a couple weeks ago as we worked together for Trucker Appreciation Week. So thank you for your participation in that effort. And you see her lapel pin